Recently, I was involved with a collab with Best Guy Ever. Go subscribe to him if you haven't. In this video, we rewatched and reread Let's Go Eat Italian. For this rewatch session, I looked more into Tonio's character than I ever had before, and I honestly saw a lot of things that I really enjoyed, and I was sure to read up on everything besides the light novel Fourth Another Day, which I couldn't get my hands on because it's only in Japanese right now. Translators, please get on that. I kind of want to read that pretty bad. Also, Golden Heart, Golden Ring. Make them both. This. So with all this stuff fresh in my mind, I thought, why not tell everybody about the beauty of Tonio Trussardi? Tonio is one of the kindest characters in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, from his innocent desire to cure people of their ailments through his cooking, or his unending passion and dedication to learn all he can about the culinary arts. In his journeys to become the master chef that he is now, he learned some skills, some of them for cooking and some of them not. Some of these skills are palm reading, which allows Tonio to perfectly understand his customers' ailments and what he needs to use for them, and he also learned many things like the Chinese medicinal arts, which assumably he went for the more incense and herbal side and less of the acupuncture and hot glass, whatever that hot glass thing is called. That's called cupping! One of the things I really enjoyed about Tonio's development in future parts of JoJo, or mainly the side works that come from JoJo, is his reasons for studying the culinary arts other than his passion for cooking. Tonio's true family name is Volpier. If you remember that, it's from Purple Haze Feedback. And after discovering his passion for cooking, Tonio began training in secret, only to have his father find out and scold him because the Volpier family values titles over anything, and to have their son, one of their oldest sons, do a worksman trade, that won't fly. His father wouldn't let it stand at all, and Tonio was given two options: to quit cooking and his passion, or leave the family. Tonio then made the rough decision to leave his family, and he took on his mother's maiden name, Trussardi. And this wasn't just because he cared so much about cooking. It was more under the fact that Tonio was in love with a girl named Virginia. This Virginia was the victim of a cancerous tumor that appeared to be uncurable by modern medicine. Tonio, despite this, tried to find as many cures as he can through his studies, and no matter what he did, he couldn't find a cure for Virginia. Even after he unlocked his stand, Pearl Jam, and gave her the best food he could possibly do, it wasn't enough. In his desperation looking for foods of the gods, something that might be able to cure his Virginia, he learned about a town named Morio, and its abalones. Tonio decided to go to Morio. After he set up his Virginia in his hometown, he gets a restaurant in Morio. He uses his power not only to help people, but it also serves to establish a name for himself in that town. He then put in a lot of research into that town and that country, because if we look deeper into some of Tonio's appetizers, we start to notice that they really help in Japanese society. The water of Mount Kilimanjaro was the most obvious one, and honestly, it's great because it is a fantastic taste to anyone who drinks it, but to those who are suffering from insomnia, it will rejuvenate them. It will give them a full night's rest in one sitting. And if you know anything about Japan, then you would know that insomnia is all too common in Japanese society. And let's not forget, that is just the water. Tonio offers so many different fantastic benefits to all of his customers, all for the low price of 3,500 yen, which to Tonio, from his home country, that's like 28 euros. Like, it seriously fucking chumps change. And a lot of this can be contributed to his stand, Pearl Jam. And what a perfect name Pearl Jam has, because just like the band on tour, Tonio changes how things work in JoJo. Pearl Jam did something that most bands didn't at the time. When they were playing tours, Pearl Jam didn't just play their classics or their most well-known songs. In fact, Pearl Jam would change up their set list between cities and play obscure songs from their sets. When Tonio shows up in the story, he truly changes the Villain of the Week formula. Let's Go Eat Italian is the first red herring chapter of JoJo, and it shows us that not every stand user will end up being some sort of villainous monster, and makes us approach any of the next arcs and the characters who appear in them like real people, because they could just end up being like Tonio, which a lot of characters do just end up being like Tonio. Even though Pearl Jam's healing properties probably gave Tonio the credit that he needed to make a name for himself, the stand itself isn't anything too amazing. Most of the power relies purely on Tonio's skill as a chef. So basically, the healing properties of Tonio's food, or cooking, is enhanced to an extreme superhuman level by Pearl Jam. And basically, Tonio performs an equivalent exchange of sorts between the food and the ailment. But as we see later on, that we need higher and higher level of quality food, to match worse and worse issues. So, Pearl Jam is limited purely by what Tonio uses in his ingredients and the quality of the food that Tonio makes. After the events of Part 4 are over, Tonio feels it's finally safe enough to bring over his Virginia to Morio. He goes to one of his allies after doing so, one he made during his time in Morio, and asks them for help, this ally being Rohan Kishibe. After he explains the situation to Rohan, Rohan agrees because he's based as fuck. And then the events of Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe Episode 7, Poacher's Reef, takes place. And I'd recommend everyone go read that right now, but in the end, Tonio is able to finally cure his Virginia. And with the tumor gone, her life fixed, Tonio is finally able to return to a nice, comfortable, quiet life in Morio. We also now understand why he cared so much about his customers, because every time he looked at them, he saw Virginia. If you enjoyed this video and like my videos, you can go over to patreon.com and give me some support and help me make more of these videos. It's patreon.com/ManyNotTheBadGuy. You can give any amount you want. It's completely awesome. And you should go and buy Shimonetta, boring over the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist over at Shimonetta.com. Shimonetta.
Grazie.